Hi and welcome to Queensland Weekender. If you don't know him already, this is the Cunnamulla fella. He's a bit of a bush hero around here, and he's the reason for a fantastic Outback festival that brings people from all over Australia to Queensland's remote southwest. The festival kicks off here in just a couple of days, which is perfect because it gives me time to go exploring.
Queensland's southwest corner is far-flung, but it's full of scenery, quirky characters and unexpected adventures.
Oh wow, you wouldn't want to be claustrophobic, would you?
I reckon the next half hour will prove my point. So, let's get cracking. Starting in the big smoke of the remote southwest. As the crow flies, Cunnamulla sits 800 kilometres west of Brisbane, straddling the crossroads of the Matilda Highway and Adventure Way. With her classic corner pub and wide streets, she looks like your typical outback town. Well, prepare to be surprised. Who says you need a beach to feel sand between your toes? Or a wave to hang 10?
Okay, Sammy, you're looking the part, so what's it going to be, a sandboard or a sled?
Oh, look, I reckon I'm going to have a crack at the sandboard just so I look cool.
Pieta Mills from Out the Back Australia Tours delivers you to the desert dunes near town and sets you up surf safari style.
Pieta, we are in the Outback. I did not expect to see a sand dune here. How did that get here?
It's amazing, isn't it? They're created naturally and they're created because wind blowing across water creates sand, so it's because of the Warrego River system.
So have you got any last minute tips for me?
The biggest tip is keep your mouth shut because you don't want a gob full of sand.
Good advice, let's do it.
Oh, so I've got to put it more on the front foot. So close, so close. First time.
Yep, it's harder than it looks. But if at first you don't succeed, well, you know the rest. Surfing sure takes it out of you. On request, Pieta can arrange a picnic hamper to go. And just like that, we have an oasis in the desert.
All right, sandwich anybody? Get it? Sandwich. That was terrible, I'm sorry. Here you go, that's for you.
Okay, so here's another thing you don't expect in the Outback. Swanky accommodation. Club Boutique Hotel is Pieta's other venture, a renovated heritage pub with 4-star rooms. There's an elegant dining room with a full bar and a great menu. Or you can dine outside beside a blazing campfire.
Country roads, take me home.
Pieta's Dinner Under the Stars is a great way to meet fellow travellers and locals.
Yeah, that's a yard whip. You use it in the stockyard or cattle yard or sheep yard.
Les Capewell is Cunnamulla's cross between Santa and the man from Snowy River. He started droving when he was 13, more than 70 years ago.
And do you miss those days of droving?
Oh, yeah. I'd go back droving tomorrow if I was able. I had a wife cuddled up to me for 38 years and never left.
Oh, that's beautiful.
51 years we were married.
Wow.
One of the best camp oven cooks you'd ever meet. Yeah, cook a good feed. Cook a feed for 20 or 30 men in no time.
Pieta's managed the same feat tonight. She's rustled up a mountain of turkey, duck, pork and crackling with all the roast dinner trimmings.
That's whipping each hand.
Oh, goodness.
Did I mention this is dinner with a show? And guess who's getting roped into the act?
She's a nice young lady.
I knew you were going to choose me.
Yeah, come on. Out here.
Oh, what are we doing?
I'll show you. Now, what I want you to do is hold it out there in front of you. And I'm going to
I did not sign up for this. You're going to set fire to it?
Yeah. I'll just chop the fire out. If it don't burn you first, if it burns you, just get rid of it. Away she goes.
Oh, God. All right, let's get that whip out.
Blaze up, isn't it?
That's it.
How's that?
Well done! That was impressive. That was impressive work from old Les. Well done.
More whip cracking later, but next, the miraculous mud of Yowah.
This is absolutely magic. This stuff will actually take the bend out of corrugated iron.
Oh, so good.
You've joined me on a drive through Queensland's remote southwest. The red mulga country west of Cunnamulla looks vast and empty, but life is everywhere. It's just an hour along the bitumen to the town of Yowah. They say lizards outnumber locals in this little spot. But plenty of travellers find their way here. In fact, Yowah is known as the Montville of the Outback. Like the Sunny Coast's famous tourist village, this town has a crafty vibe. Tom the leathersmith and Helen the seamstress are the creative pair at Paru Patch. In this shed-cum-store, they sell their handmade fashion and leather goods, crafted from cow and kangaroo hide.
So you've got plier holders.
Yes.
You've got saddlebags.
Yeah.
You've got belts. You've got cowbells. You've got everything here.
Yeah, got it all.
My goodness.
And you can watch the master craftsmen at work, right here in the store.
If they particularly want a certain type of belt buckle or something, Tom can very quickly whip them up a buckle, and they do enjoy.
He is fast too.
Yeah, and they do enjoy seeing him make their belt, and then they're going home with something that they've seen being made.
Thank you for making this bag, because I'm definitely taking this home.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's good.
I'm not done shopping yet. Up the road is the Yowah Queen Opal shop, owned by Gary Berghofer.
Gary, what a beautiful old building we're in. Tell me about it.
Yeah, this is probably one of the first ones in Yowah, 1872. It was a telegraph house originally, and then it went from telegraph house to post office.
And these days, it's an art gallery. Local works include these stunning paintings by Indigenous artist Melanie Harver.
Her mum's Aboriginal, dad's Austrian, so she's pinched a bit of anyone that knows Klimt, the famous Austrian artist, she's pinched some of his theme, the Aboriginal theme, and then she's put her own bling to it.
Along with art and opals, Gary sells bush honey by the kilo.
Our local beekeepers, we've been dealing with them for over 20 years. Brian and Wendy that do the honey, they make the skincare products, and they're unbelievable. And they're all natural and they work.
If Yowah honey doesn't give you a glowing complexion, maybe this stuff will. Mud, glorious mud, is the main attraction at Yowah's famous bathhouse.
Okay, Sammy, there's your towel.
Oh, thank you,
And
Ian.
there's your beautiful mud pack
Thank
for
you.
you.
Ian Pike owns this crazy outback spa, where visitors soak in artesian clay from local springs. Legend has it, Yowah mud is the fountain of youth.
The mud itself is actually millions of years old.
Wow.
And it comes up through the shales, and that's where it picks up all the good minerals.
And that's why it takes millions of years off.
Oh yeah, it's great stuff. You've got to be careful you don't have two of these mud baths because you lose age so quickly. You can't have two straight consecutively or you'll be back in nappies. I'm only 92, see?
And you look great, my goodness.
Say no more. I am sold.
Well, I better go put my bikinis on. Can't wait. That is not for your eyes, Mr. Cameraman. Well, this is bliss. A luxury spa in the Outback. Who would have thought?
Yeah, here's Sammy, here's your beautiful nibbles.
Oh my goodness, you've even put your bow tie on, you've dressed up.
Oh yeah, just fit the chair. And a bit of wine.
Thank you.
There you go, Sammy,
Oh,
enjoy.
thank you, cheers.
Bye.
I'd happily soak here until the sun slips away, but there's one further step in this age-defying process, and it's not a pretty sight.
Oh, the price you pay for beauty. This mud pack is supposed to take even more years off, but I better get rid of it before I set like a brick.
For true natural beauty, you can't beat an outback sunset. Tonight, I'm staying in the company of royalty. The Yowah Queen is a classic country hotel offering self-contained cabins, rooms and powered band sites. She's a lively little pub with a colourful history. In the 1880s, rich and glamorous opal trader Isabel Gray owned the hotel. Ex-publican Ken Mankalo tells the story.
She lavished herself in all these beautiful opals and other things she traded, and she went for trips around the world. Marvellous. She owned half the town, the butcher shop and the local store, and she gave a lot of her wealth away to people who needed it.
From Yowah's Opal Queen to the Opal King of Yowah. That's next.
There's a little bug called an opal bug and it gets you.
It's another shining morning in the state's southwest. Crossing the mighty Paru River, the mulga scrub soon morphs into endless rust-red plains. Like an arrow to a bullseye, the road is leading me to the little mining town of Yowah. Since the 1800s, fortune hunters have descended on this dusty outpost, seeking a kind of opal found nowhere else in the world. It's called a Yowah nut. Crack it open and you might just find hidden treasures. All these beautiful gems were found by small-scale miner Cole Laurie.
There's another Yowah nut here that I've polished a piece of.
Only 1 in 1,000 nuts yields quality opal. But that hasn't stopped the rush of miners to town, or tourists. When he's not opal hunting, Cole loves to show visitors around the fossicking fields.
When you're on the field, you can just about dig in a random spot and find opal.
Cole's 2-hour tour includes his own mine, one of the oldest in Yowah.
This is very exciting. I've never been into a mine before.
Haven't you?
Yeah.
You'll be right. We've never lost a customer.
Oh, good.
Righto, down this way, people. And all this was dug in 1894.
Wow.
If you look up from here, you'll see the original shaft, and this is where the miners came down, and they didn't have ladders or ropes or anything, and they put their backside on one side and their feet on the other and worked their way up and down.
My goodness.
Times were tough back then. These days, life is a lot easier. Cole's tour ends with a traditional Devonshire tea. Very civilised. And if you've got the afternoon free, why not soak off the stress at Yowah's hot artesian spa? A bargain at $2.50 a dip. Or maybe you're up for a game of golf. Jenny Warren is always keen for a hit. She's on a driving holiday through Outback, Queensland, and never misses the chance to pull out the clubs, even when the course is, well, let's just say, not looking its best.
I like your clubs.
Thanks, Jenny. Had to borrow them from the clubhouse. I reckon I'll do all right.
I reckon that one with a little bit of extra air in the wood might be your best club yet.
Yep, I reckon Jenny has the advantage.
Well, I came into Yowah just for a cup of tea, and the first thing I saw was the golf course sign, so I thought I might be staying here for a day.
Whoa! She's good!
So good, in fact, that Jenny has played in Outback tournaments during her travels.
And Jenny, you're staying in your car, in your mini bago. You've got just room for a bed and room for your golf club.
Yes.
You must love golfing.
I love my golf, yeah, and if I can find someone who plays bridge, I'll have a game of bridge as well.
Well, you found your fellow golfer in me. Jeez.
Oh, good stuff.
This is a first for me. I've never ever played golf before, so what an introduction.
Body doesn't move. Yay! Well done.
Good shot. I'm lucky. Thanks, teacher. And you've been travelling for 2.5 months almost now.
Yes.
What have you loved about it?
Just being a free spirit and just being able to go where I like and just walking up to people of an evening and saying, can I share happy hour with you?
Well, Jenny, I reckon after we finished our game today, we should have a drink back at the clubhouse. What do you reckon?
I reckon that'd be good.
I'm not holding out a lot of hope that we'll get a glass of wine at the 19th hole. But I do know the perfect place for happy hour, just a few clicks from town. Locals call this the Bluff, and it's a top spot to toast the Outback's daily grand finale.
But thank you so much for such a great day. It was so much fun.
Oh, it was great. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, well, cheers to Yowah.
Cheers
and
to
what
Yowah.
a sunset.
Beautiful.
After the break, it's back to the big smoke for the Cunnamulla Fella Festival. Well, it's not all about the fellas.
We did it!
Oh, that's where Lamont got a ripper.
I'm back in Cunnamulla. Remember those sandhills from earlier? Well, right next door is the Cunnamulla Tourist Park. I'm settling into one of the park's comfortable ensuite cabins. There's also a swag of powered sites for setting up the canvas or the van. Most evenings in tourist season, the campfire gets cranked up to full bore, and a local poet tells tales of bush heroes.
And when he saw our friend arrive, he whispered, "Here's a lark. Just watch me catch him all alive, this man from Ironbark."
The legends and larrikins of the Outback are at the heart of Cunnamulla's annual shindig. Preparations are in full swing at the football oval tonight. Not for a footy final, but for a full-on contest just the same. It's the Cunnamulla Fella Festival Challenge.
You need 2 people over the age of 18, and they're going to do seven things that a bushman would do probably any day of the week.
Now, you don't have to be a fella to have a crack at these Bush Olympics.
How are you?
So nice to see you.
Oh, how are we going to go?
We're going to go well. It'll
be great.
My good mate Francesca Reid, or Franchi to her friends, is a Brizzy girl who married a Cunnamulla fella and now lives on a cattle property near town. Who better to team up with?
All right, French, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the cross saw, we've got to whip, and we've got to roll the wool bales. You reckon we can do it?
We can do it.
Yeah, I reckon we can.
We have this in the bag.
First up, the bale roll. And the Cunnamulla Sheilas, that's us, are up against the local coppers.
Good luck, lady.
Yes.
Come on.
This is even competition right here.
Come on, Bill. Go.
Go, Sammy.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. The Cunnamulla Sheilas, the Cunnamulla Coppers.
I hate to say it, but the boys in blue have got this one in the bag. But wait, here come the cavalry. Okay, must regroup for the crosscut.
All right, I'll go first. I'll pull first, Sammy.
All right, when are we starting?
Yeah.
Ready, set,
Go.
Right, the Cunnamulla Sheilas go.
We've got a rhythm, we've got a rhythm! We did it!
Okay, we're on the home stretch. Just the whip crack to go.
It's all in the wrist.
They got him.
Come on, Franchi, do us proud.
Hit her though!
Ladies and gentlemen, we get the job done.
Thanks, Franch. Nice to know we're better at bush kills than we thought. But here's a ringer who'd run rings around us.
I'm going to try and showcase to you skills that I try and share all around the world.
Guy McLean is a world-acclaimed Aussie horseman and star attraction at this year's festival.
If I look into my circle, I want him to jump into a canter spin. If I look over my right shoulder, I want him to change direction and go the other way.
Guy, you're so passionate about your animals. What are they to you?
They're my family. These horses behind me, the horses I have in America, they're my family. Horse doesn't care how much you own or how much you make, they only care how you treat them, and I love them for that. Very carefully, be more careful as his horns get longer. Step all the way over the top of it.
Guy hails from Harvey Bay, but he's performed in Washington, New York and Las Vegas to huge crowds.
And why do you think that they love Aussies coming over there?
Because we're real. Facebook and iTunes, that's not real. These animals behind you are real. These people here at Cunnamulla, they're real.
The Cunnamulla Fella Festival is on again from the 24th to the 26th of August. Why not make a holiday out of it and take time to tour the sights of Queensland's awesome southwest? Our website has contacts and details. While you're online, make sure to search our friends at Queensland.com and Queensland Rail Travel. Plus, you can keep up with us on our travels on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, the Cunnamulla Fella Festival is far from over, with the rodeo wrapping up the first night of celebrations. I've had such an amazing time in Queensland's far southwest. I hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week for more Queensland Weekender. Bye from the Outback.